One of the key mistakes I made in a previous business was being everything to everyone, not something to someone. And so my first point is this: define a sweet spot of target customer that you're going to go after. Ideally, you may be some of those people that you've already done business with. There may be a certain industry or type of characteristic that works really well. Identify who that group is and focus on them to start with. 70% of objections happen because we haven't qualified our prospects effectively. So my first point to you is this: you need to go back and reaffirm the understanding of the deal of what was going on in the first place. Focus on your perfect customer, especially if you've got case studies and evidence of where you've solved problems like that for previous CEOs or business people in the past. That person you're trying to engage with is going to be more inclined to listen than not. These are some of the emails that I would use if I'm struggling to engage with a prospect that's suddenly gone cold on me. I would use an email such as this. The subject line that I would use would be, "Best wishes from James White, Sales Success. John, I've tried to contact you a number of times through different media to help you deal with insert the key problem you solve, but it seems like this isn't the best time for you right now. If I've got that wrong and you're still keen to look at what we do, then let me know and we can pick things back up. If the timing isn't right now, then let me know as well and I can make a note to speak in a few months' time. If it's none of those things and we're just not right for you, then I will make this my last email. Good luck with your plans for insert the problem they were looking to achieve, and best wishes for the future, James."
His podcast, Always Free, is amazing as well. So it's a real great honour for me to literally welcome in the car Mr. Jason Greystone for another conversation of Sales Conversations with Sales Experts. How are you, mate?
Yeah,
are you
good,
well?
Good, yeah, I'm really well, thanks.
Fantastic. Well, look, really awesome to have you in the car. Absolute pleasure for me. So we're going to just do a little bit of driving. My driving is normally pretty good, so you're in safe hands.
Oh, that's good.
So passionate, cares about businesses and business owners achieving their goals and dreams. Take this advice on board, and I'm going to hopefully see you through the other side when we get through these difficult times. So the first thing I'm going to say to you about this coronavirus, and it's a difficult thing maybe to say, but it's so important, is to not be panicked. The reality is there are so many things happening in the world right now. If you put the news on, you see so much bad stories and negativity there that you start to worry about things.
He is a award-winning and leading Amazon best-selling author and an incredible guy who's motivated and changing so many lives through the program that he has, which helps turn police officers and those from the NHS into entrepreneurs. So without further ado, I'm going to welcome into the car Mr. Alexander Siri. How are you, my friend?
I'm very well, how are you?
I'm very good, I'm very good.
So opening number 3 is a shorter one and something you can use to trial out and see if it works with the prospects you're engaging with. Here's what I'd use in an opening like this. Joe, James White here from Company X. I know you'll be busy, and so I'll be brief. How are you dealing with the challenge of finding high quality salespeople right now that achieve targets consistently? So in this case here, what's that opening? Maybe 10 seconds, 15 seconds? I've not even waited for the person to even talk to me and ask me a question, whether it's, how is it going for them? I'm going to share with you the call and the way I went through that call, and then give you some tips at different points in the video on what I did and why I did certain things in order to give you some insights in how I think you should run new inbound lead calls that you get with prospects that come to your business. Good afternoon, can I speak to Abigail, please?
Speaking.
Hey Abigail, it's James here from Shifts to Success. How are you?
I'm good, and yourself?
Yeah, great. Lovely to get a chance to speak to you. We've been trying to get hold of you for a couple of days now, so I know you're a busy lady. Have you had a good day so far? So the first thing you can hopefully see is that I've approached this call slightly different because it's an inbound lead rather than what I call an outbound lead.
Good evening, everyone. How are we? Big thanks to you all really for being here tonight. The next 6 weeks are all going to be about using some slides and some ideas and knowledge that I've got, which I use normally in my workshop, and I share what I go through here as part of those activities. So it's really important for me about improving sales skills, improving the results, and using this next 6 weeks to actually start going with some big journeys, beginning with what I call small steps.
Depending on your business, you're probably not going to be in a position where someone meets you and then literally wants to do business with you straight away in a business-to-business environment. they're going to go through a thought process and a journey. And so one of the key things I say to people around in terms of selling and learning how to close is pick up on the small wins that you get at different points in time. The reality is we're going to get setbacks in our business life, and the challenge that you've got to make sure you don't let is let that affect you doing what you're going to do. So when this happens, what I encourage people to do is do a few things. The first thing is this: think about the reason why you're doing what you're doing. Maybe it's your family, maybe you've got a goal to achieve something by a certain date. You want to buy a house, you want to buy a car, whatever it is, do something for your family. Go back and always focus on why you're doing what you're doing. So what are the things you can do when you want to think about learning to sell? The question is this: focus on learning what it is you want to learn and look at actually where you want to improve. So what are the areas, for example, if you're new to sales at the moment, what are the areas where you feel you need some challenges? And if you're sending out sales messages that are focused on how great you are and what you do and pitching before you start listening and engaging, then you're going to fail more often than you succeed. That's the first thing. Here at the Land Rover Experience Centre in Honiton, Devon, where they get people doing incredibly brave things, driving cars up big mountains in different areas. Sitting at a desk, you might have had a chance to engage with a prospect on a conversation. You've got through from your prospecting, you've dealt with the objection, and then you're in a position where the prospect is then perfect for you. You know you can make a difference in their world, and they're then going to talk to you about how maybe you could work together. And maybe you're going to talk about your price, and they're then going to say, oh, that's too expensive for me, or can you discount it, or can you make it cheaper? And in sales, again, we've got this challenge of what to do when that happens.
Yeah, I think it's an inbound and outbound. Like I see outbound work way better when the inbound engine is strong. So when you have good content, thought leadership, you've tested copy on your website, validated your offer, etc. The outbound portion works extremely well. So there's like 3 components to the framework. So it's pretty simple. It's identify, engage, convert.
You have to really honestly ask yourself the question, why has this happened? Why has the prospect says that I'm going to get back to you? And is it because that they just do really need some time to think about what it is you've talked to them about? Or is it a case that you've talked too much and the reality is they've just tuned out, they no longer connected with you, and they're in a position where it's a polite way of saying to you, thanks very much, but I'll leave it to another time. But what do snails do that's common in place for us and from a sales perspective? Point number 1 is this: snails are consistent. Lynn will tell you herself, they don't maybe travel as far as you think, but they'll travel the same route, and they have an internal antenna system that brings them back to where they were, even if they get lost. They're consistent on a regular basis to do the same thing, even if it moves at a slow pace. And in sales, we have to be consistent in the way we prospect, the way we engage, and spend time on selling activity. So what can you learn from snails? Learn their consistency. So I wanted to do a few videos over the course of the next 10 days to talk about how you and your business can thrive and not just survive during the course of the recession that unfortunately the UK and most of the world is now in as a result of COVID. The point number 1 is about mindset. Yeah, sure, don't get me wrong, things are tough and I understand that, but my question to you is, how's your negative mindset going to make that any better? It's Halloween. And in this video, I'm going to show you a few tips on how you can ensure you avoid those sales ghosts and problems that can scare you and stop your business from progressing and getting the results that you want. I don't want you getting nightmares about the things that are... Alex? So I'm here with Sam Bond from Bonds Upholstery. What Sam's able to do is to turn something like this into a great looking piece of furniture because it has solid foundations. James, I can't be made into a salesperson, I'm not good enough to be able to do that, I don't know how to sell, and they make a number of excuses as to why they can't do what they need to do in order to keep their business going. Take this chair here, as we've just talked about with the old chair, is you've got to have a vision for what you want something to look like when it comes to selling. There is only one of these in the world, completely and utterly unique. Why is sales like cakes and baking, and what are the two got in common from cake and biscuits and all those great things they make and how that connects with sales? So reason number 1 why sales is like baking is that You've got to have a mix of the right ingredients put together in the right way, and if you do that, you're going to get a great result. And that leads me on to my second point around how sales is so similar to baking. And the reality of why it's like sales is sometimes, and many times, small businesses make the wrong decision when it comes to trying to convert a customer too early. Back in 2009, I was a MD of a growing business, and I wanted to move to a brand new office facility to bring more people in and to help grow my company. So in this video, I'm just going to share with you some thoughts around change, how we deal with it, how we cope with it as business owners, how we need to embrace it sometimes in order to achieve new places, and to just share a few moments around my final time in my office that I've been in for 11 years and what you could do as a business owner to ensure that you change to get better results. One of the questions I get asked a lot by business owners is, in tough economic times, James, should I just take any business going? Is any business better than no business at all during really difficult moments when finances are tough and the economy's looking rubbish? In this video, I'm going to share with you a few reasons why you shouldn't sell yourself short when it comes to taking any business during tough times.